Hello, hello everyone in the conversation. We are gonna start this 7th community meet about AI proposal errors and other important GSOC questions. Today is a different timing because we are also in bank holidays in Spain, and also, as I just learned today, most of our Indian colleagues are also in the Holi festival festivities, so congratulations on this. I will start saying that Rohit, Manas, Prithvi, Saumya, Roger, cameras have to be open, please. This is a law we have. If you want to stay here, you have to have the camera open. If not, you will not be. Prithvi, there is still a few more contributors. Thank you, guys. There is still a few more contributors coming, and it's just past 3 minutes. In the meantime, I'm gonna spend a second just trying to arrange the streaming. Remember, the questions are gonna be here in the Meet. So Ryan is asking, is there a meeting link? It may happen two things: that he's been sleepy and he's not registered for the meet. I don't remember. I send the invites as you send the proof of registration. Ryan, I don't know if you catch the thing, but today is a meet, and people on the meet is the ones that are gonna make the questions. You have to send proof of registration to the Google Developers system to go stay in the meet. If you haven't send it. So Shashwat, Ryan, maybe Vaikunta, Shaunak, you are doing this, but Pablo, today is a meet, and you will be late for the questions because we asked people to have a more nice conversation among us. Yes, but the communications ask that you have to register to a link and send me the proof of registration, and then I will invite you to the meet as the colleagues are here: Rohit, Manas, Prithvi, Mahinur, Amit that has again switched off his camera, Saumya, and Roger. Okay, we have to start. So the ones that you are on the YouTube, it's been a fault of you because the other people have done well. So you will have the opportunity to get your questions answered, but later. So let me salute first our mentors. Vedant, hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You know, a little bit with a cold. Weather is totally crazy here these days, and most of the country are having showers, rain, and it's curious. Yash,
Yeah, I'm also great here, just celebrating Holi.
celebrating Holi. I don't see you having too much colors in your face. I wait till you say having
Yeah,
some.
Because the color day was yesterday. Today is just like the after holy
As you
part.
mean that you already have a shower.
yeah,
Yes.
I want to imagine the water from the from the showers out of plenty of colors.
yeah.
So, Rohit, you also attended the festival?
Yes, Andrew.
You do too?
Not that much. Just a little with my friends.
And Manas, you?
Yes. We also played it yesterday, but I had my stream, so I was not that involved here.
Prithvi seems the man that was totally involved with colors on his face. Not Prithvi? Do you attended yesterday's party?
Yes, I was not out here. I was in beach. We played it there.
But you did the thing in the beach.
Yes,
And then you went to the sea to get out of the colors?
right.
Okay. Mahinur, I understand you don't do that because you're in Egypt. Open your mic.
Yes, yeah, we don't do that.
You do that, of course. Worldly speak. And you have another question. But lots of our colleagues here are from India, like Amit. Amit, do you went also to the festivities? Amit? Kumar? Amit? Kumar? Open your mic and answer me.
Yes, sir. Actually, your voice is not audible. So just
What do you say?
so voice is not audible.
You're having problems listening to me.
Yes, sir. Voice is not audible.
Okay. Saumya, do you party too there? Party or making celebrations?
Yes, sir, I did yesterday with my family.
I imagine everyone in India has to go.
Yes,
It's a national celebration.
yes, sir.
Then could you please ask Roger, who's the latest guy in the meet, if he went to the holy party? Ask him. Ask Saumya. Ask him. Ask
Yes,
Roger.
sir.
Ask Roger about this.
Did you go to party or did you celebrate Holi? I don't think so. Even if planned.
Roger is thinking about what those guys are
Yeah,
telling to
like
me.
we used to go to holy parties here in Spain. They
Really?
were like popular like 10 years ago. It was like really popular as well here. Yeah, but not anymore.
Really? What happened? Indian people went away or what?
I don't know. It was like kind of popular in Lleida.
Okay, I didn't know that. Jada's this thing. Yeah, we are in Jada today. Okay, so thank you for coming. Thank you also for the other guys. Ryan says, "Oh, it turns out that I didn't send the screenshot. Of course, you didn't send it to me because if you sent it to me, you will have access to the meet." Okay, so let's start with the slides. Thank you for mentors today, Yash and Vedant, and always ready to make some lovely interviews with our future GSOC contributors and doing presentations and attending the streaming and so on. Thank you very much. So be good, have the mic on, the mic off and the camera on during the session. And at the question and answer part, be polite or respectful. Let's do it this way, as there are many people today that has is not on the Meet. They have to be, but they didn't get the instructions right. I mean, they didn't follow the instructions right. Let's gonna do two things. At the end of the Meet, if you have questions, you will raise your hand. Okay, here you know that there is a raise hand in the Meet. This icon, you know that next to the red icon to hand the call, there is a raise hand. You do something like clicking on it, and then you will have the opportunity to talk in the Meet. Something like pink. Ooh. And then for the people in the YouTube, so write your questions there, and we will try to answer. And just before I started to say we need someone to help, Ryan raised his hand and says he will do that. Another person that will help Ryan on this. Manas volunteers again. Thank you, Manas. So you two are the ones. Amit, what do you want, Amit? You want to volunteer?
Yes.
So thank you very much, but you went a few seconds later. Ryan and Manas are the one to do that. Thank you for your effort. So let's continue with the slides. Okay, let's start to review things. Okay, let's do one thing. If you as there are gonna be many questions, if you have, let's gonna do one different thing. At the end of every page, I will ask you if you have a question to the people on the Meet, and the people on the chat. They write their questions on the YouTube chat. So for you, the ones that are here on the Meet, at the end of every page, if you have a question, raise your hand with the Meet, and we will answer your question. So as far as I know, because believe me, I don't control everything, 34 interviews are on their way. This was written 3 days ago, so that's not 10. I think that there are more already developed interviews with our nice, amazing mentor team. So this is good. So we are on a good way. Think that we are finding on the proposals, the mentors that are starting to interact with you. So they are telling me things like this: excess, too much content. Proposals have to be focused. I think later, I don't know if it's going to be Yash or Vedant, we'll talk more about this, but we don't want proposal with 25 pages. No, it's not needed. Even 25 pages with 15 pages full of screenshot of code. We don't need that, because you can copy the code from anywhere. We don't know if you have just generated it with whatever artificial intelligence assistance. So we don't need to have as many code in the proposals. It's totally a waste of time for you and for us. It will be the mentor interview, when the mentor interviews you, that will be the one seeing your abilities, because in this moment you don't have an eye to help you. It will be you and the mentor. So the mentor will catch you at 30 seconds if you are saying the truth, if you are right, you have the right abilities to code, and you are not passing code from other person or from any place in the internet. So please don't do that enormous proposals of 25 pages. Lack of things. The proposals have to be focused on their goal. The goal, what is the goal of a proposal? The name of the project. So if you are going to do I don't know, there are something like, we have 25, 30 projects. So if your project is, I don't know, artificial intelligence, touristic, I don't know, we don't have many. So focus on this, not go for other questions. Some of your projects have plenty of information related, for example, to the Liquid Galaxy, to your person, to pasting code and so on, but you do not focus on the important thing that is the goal of your proposal. So what differentiates a good proposal from another? Remember to see again always the presentation from mentor Yash talking about proposals, but the point is that you have to be focused on the main idea of the proposal, not talking about other questions. I don't want to name persons, I can do that. I don't want to signal any person, but some of you, both in the Meet and in the YouTube, the YouTube have done this, and this is not good. You have to focus on the proposal because it's the important for us and for Google. Remember, we are not the ones that will select you finally. The final whatever person, if we can call it person, will be Google. And if your proposal is not the right one, you will be not selected. So proposal is you can have a large amount of streamings, presentations, very nice, contributing with the community on the Discord thing, and the many things we have developed for the different months we've been working for this project. But finally, you have to code something. This is your project, your proposal, and it has to be very good and very focused. The same way, plenty of your proposals lack of mockups. We said clearly, at least you have to present 5 mockups for the user interface on the tablet and 5 mockups on how your data will appear on the Liquid Galaxy. And I will say half of you are not presenting these mockups, and the mockups are the most important part of the proposal because it's the thing that we see. If we directly see a very nice interface for the UX and a very nice interface for the KMLs on the Google Earth, on the Liquid Galaxy screens, we instantaneously we see what your project is, and we can read pages of text, but it's more visually because remember we are a project for visualization. So please focus. 5 minimum. It can be more. 5 mockups of the tablet, the user interface, where different instructions you're gonna develop in Flutter or whatever, and at least 5 mockups of how the Liquid Galaxy screens will appear. If the proposal focus is very important, inside this importance is as much important as the mockups, because we see at a moment what are you gonna do. Okay, so please do that. More things. Okay. Is there any question for this? The people on the chat. 1 second. You can still talk. Maginor, go away. Maginor, go.
Yes, I wanted to ask if the mockups of the Liquid Galaxy weren't 5 exactly, because if there are 3, for example, or something, does it have to be 5?
If we say minimum 5 and 5, they have to be 5. You can do 1 or you can do 0, but your proposal will be directly go to the trash. Because you have to present mockups with the proposal. It's one part of the mockup. I mean, it's clearly noted on the thing. We know we have plenty of text to see, streaming to see, and everything is complicated. But they say in the mockup part, they say you have to present in the proposal 5 mockups of the user interface and 5 mockups of the Liquid Galaxy visualization. So don't do 3. Okay. If you have done 3, create a little bit more and do 5 minimum.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question here? No. Fantastic. Mentos, do you want to add something? Okay. So I see people on the YouTube saying it for nothing. So let's go to the next slide. More text. Please remember the naming convention of the proposal. Some of you are doing it bad. Not doing. Misspelling. Documents have to be named. Always name, surname, your name, surname, project name, and GSOC 2024. Because we deal with dozens of documents. And my own Google Drive for the Liquid Galaxy deals with hundreds, if not thousands, of documents of the GSOC. So we need to find you. We need this naming convention. Okay, remember. Don't send us whatever name .text or PDF or whatever. No. Name, surname, project name, GSOC 2024. Please. Very important, caps lock. When uploading to the GSOC platform, your proposal in PDF only, because on the GSOC platform only can be PDF. Remember that we have to have the original Google Docs open for comments, at least, because the mentors will comment your proposal and we cannot comment your proposal in PDF in the GSOC platform. So the comments will go on your doc, Google Docs, open for comments. So please remember, because as time has went, people started, of course, to upload their documents to the GSOC platform, and suddenly they don't send us. They were not sending us the Google Docs, and we have trouble because we cannot comment. We can see, we can read, but we cannot comment on the document. And sometimes mentors will comment you on things because they have, maybe they find a spare time and they want to look at your project and commenting you, whatever, besides the interview. And also remember, not only one mentor, it may be different mentors, me, whatever persons commenting on your things. So please send us the Google Docs. Another question is happening now. I have to be invited to your meets with the mentors. Most surely I will not attend the meets, but the question is that we have to be, me or Liquid Galaxy Lab have to be on the meet invite, because we need to control that you all think about that there are plenty of persons are happening, lots of interviews, and we need to know what interviews are happening and when. So this is the reason why you have to invite us, not because we are going to stay on the meet. The meet is more personal between you and the mentor, and you've been talking with me for months, so most of you know me, and maybe Oscar or other guys, Basilio, other guys from the labs, but remember, just in our conversations have to be Liquid Galaxy Lab, gmail.com, and in the meets, the same. In Liquid Galaxy or me, it's the same, and because we need to know when this is happening. And another question is that, yes, once you have uploaded your proposal to the GSOC platform, it enters an internal process review and soon reaches the internal mentor interview stage. And there are people that it's keeping all day long sending us emails saying, when I'm going to have my interview, I understand you are, I would say, a little bit nervous, but this can happen at any moment. Remember that mentors are persons that have their own agenda. They are usually professionals working and have a very busy agenda, and they are good people. They share plenty of time with you for helping you. So it's up their agenda when you are going to have the interview. But as I said, all of you that have presented a GSOC proposal in the platform will have the interview. So just it will be a matter of days. Okay. Any question on this? No? Vedant, just comment something. I have to take my phone for a second.
I would just be adding a few things that firstly, whenever you're making your proposals, as we discussed in the previous slide, it was to create good mockups. So when you are creating those 5 setup of the LG rig, you can firstly take the image from the Liquid Galaxy, the domain or the Liquid Galaxy EU website. You can take that 5 LG rig setup and you can just mask onto whatever you have made on your Google Earth software to showcase the actual KML. So I would not just want you to just open up the Sentinel EO browser or some other thing and just grab a screenshot from it, but rather I would want you to create that actual KML code. And if you cannot just show your code, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So I would want you to display it as a mask image, which would require some very basic knowledge of Figma, which I would want you all to be knowing. That's about it.
Thank you. Any other question here in the meet? No? Fantastic, amazing. So Pablo in the YouTube is saying, do we have to share the link or add the Liquid Galaxy email directly in the document? Pablo, you have to send an email, and the documents always have to be open for comments to anyone, because it's not me, not Liquid Galaxy. It can be Yash, Vedant, or any of our 35 mentors that can go into your document. So since the very beginning, we tell you the documents that you send us have to be open for comments. We don't want to touch your document. The document is yours, but we need to to make comments on. You have to send us the document open for comments to the Liquid Galaxy email. If you share it in the document, you're going to have problems because maybe Mentor Yash will not open in, or Mentor whatever the much mentors will have. So not share it in the document, but open for comments, share the Liquid Galaxy. Joseph, can the mentors recommend a way to manage API request counts in the application? Are you reading this, Yash? Or Vedant? The YouTube chat?
Yes, I don't understand the question. Why would one want to manage API requests in our document?
I think Joseph is wrong, but I'm not sure. Yash, do you catch what Joseph says?
I would want him to firstly rephrase the question so I can just get him.
So Joseph, none of the three mentors on the meet are able to understand you. So rephrase your question, and we will try to answer you. At this moment we are answering questions about the slides we are showing. So maybe your thing is more related to a proposal specifically. So if you rephrase your question, we will try to answer it later. Thank you for the questions. Let's continue. Let's start to the artificial intelligence thing. Also, there is plenty of students that are contributors that are gonna do artificial intelligence project, but at the same time there are plenty of that are not gonna do anything artificial intelligence related. But this year we have to have a little bit more focus on this thing, and we think also mentors and the technology has this kind of hypes we call, and this year last year was the artificial intelligence, and I think Liquid Galaxy, as any other technological project, will improve a lot thanks to the artificial intelligence. So let's gonna manage some of the things that are happening. So one thing is that the ones that you are presenting proposals for I say sometimes that you want to do fine tuning in the very first or second month of GSOC, and this is not possible. Not. I'm saying this all day long in all the streamings. No, GSOC is not to fine-tuning models. This is not our job. You can do that if you want in your own time now before Google announces the contributors. It will be one thing you do. I know at least 2 different contributors are doing this at this moment, but because they want to use their time just to learn or to improve their proposal. Or then you can do it between the announcement and the bonding period, the very first month, the bonding period. But do it in GSOC, you cannot do fine-tuning of any model because this is not our thing. Fine-tuning is something very complicated. See on the slides that I want to say thank you to Manas because yesterday he did the presentation about fine-tuning models. That was perfect, but this is not for now, not for the GSOC coding period, because it's coding, not fine-tuning models. This is not our work. So we need to make great visualizations and great nice KMLs, great Flutter interfaces. Remember, this year also we are going to target Android 13. It's API 33. We have bought a new tablet with Android 13, just arrived this week, to test your applications. Till now we have I don't know. We have something like 20 tablets at the office, and every year the tablets become older because most of them do not get updated. And again, if you want to do some fine tuning, you can do that before GSOC or in the bonding period, but not during the coding period. Is this clear, people of the Meet? Yes, fantastic. Very good. Let's see the YouTube. Pablo, I shared the link to the last week. No, the question is, the answer is no. If you share it this way, it's correct, Pablo. You don't have to do anything else. Joseph, for paid IPAs, exactly. The question was not related, Joseph, to the things we are on the slides. But if you have a question, we will try to answer your questions now. For paid IPAs, we have limited requests, like Grok, for example. It is proposal question, yes. I don't understand the second phrase, Joseph. But the first question, for paid APIs, we have limited requests like Grok, for example, of course. And we have been talking about this, and we are going to talk in the next slide. So please attend to this. Let's gonna continue. Artificial intelligence issues. So let's gonna make some kind of big overview of this, because the ones that you have just presented already, the proposals for the AI, some of you are a little bit lost. So we have different project typologies this year. Usually from years we have been not able to use cloud services of any kind, because cloud services usually are costly, and we do not have budget for this as community. We wanted also always to use open source, whatever, because we are open source, and open source can be used for free and free. So project typologies, talking about AI. Using open source models running on local artificial intelligence server or in the cloud. And there is an asterisk. So always the model has to be Gemma from Google. We are not allowing other models, other open source models. Don't ask us to use Llamas or Mistrals or whatever. We have to work with the Gemma model, because remember, we are a Google project and we have to work with Google technologies. And Gemma is as good as any other model. Every model has his differences, but Gemma is as good. And also I have to tell you, we have two different models of Gemma, one from 2 million tokens, another one with 7 million tokens, and I think that there is coming another one with 15 million tokens. It will be launched soon. So surely for Digisoc will be on the market. I need 1 second, okay? Excuse me.
Okay, so Mentor Yash, I was wondering, what is your perspective on people pasting code snippets in their proposal?
Can you just repeat it? What is my opinion? What?
I was wondering, what is your opinion on people pasting code snippets? Like recently, I saw a proposal a person who pasted a code snippet of how to connect his Android device to the LG rig.
Yeah. So I would say that you are needless to know that you should not be pasting too much of the code snippets other than what is the core aspect of your project. So let's take an example of a project that is doing some sort of a visualization. So you can paste a code that is showing the main core snippet of how you are visualizing that data, how you are visualizing it onto the maps and the rig both. Do not paste unnecessary snippets. Just keep it to the fundamental aims of the project, what it has to plan. That is all about what I would say.
And KMLs?
For the KML part, it is much better if you display it onto the 5 mockups that you have got the chance to. So if you are pasting all of the code, why do we bother about it? Because we know that you will be able to show it much better in a much better way, which is why I was saying on my previous phrase that try to code it first, use the Google Earth software and maybe export it, then finally make up sort of a mockup on which you can mask it. So you can get the 5 rig experience.
That's great. Actually, it is my personal opinion that a proposal does not need any code snippets at all. It should be very simple for the user to understand, and it should not be very technical, because if we include code snippets, it becomes very technical.
Well, I want to add here that you can add code snippet for something really different. Imagine you are creating some kind of whatever new thing, but if you just pasty the code for making an orbit, it has no sense, because we've been making it for years, so it has no sense. But if you, for example, are doing something new and you created some kind of, or you think about some kind of new code that will develop whatever, so this is the thing to add, not just copy paste snippets. This is not going anywhere, so please don't do that. So let's continue. Excuse me because there are some packaging arriving and so on. I was saying that we will work in two ways. One is using open source models, and another one is using closed source models. The open source models will run on our local artificial intelligence server or in the cloud. The model has to be GMA from Google, and others models like Bark, like Mentor Vedant used last year for voice, must be open source if we are talking about using it on the open source in the artificial intelligence server. But if you go to the cloud, and this is the asterisk, is the same that is happening for the closed source models. The closed source models always will be on the cloud. Always will be on the cloud because you cannot download it because those are private. The model has to be Gemini from Google, only Gemini from Google. We will not accept any other kind of models. And maybe those models are accessed by the IPA. 1 second only. Again, 1 second, sorry.
I would want to add something. It is generally a good practice that you keep all of the tech stacks that you are basing your app on to be open source, because the project it is something that we want open source and free. So try to aim for things that are free and open source and be really good.
So the model in the cloud has to be Gemini from Google. And what happens with the Gemini from Google? Gemini from Google is Google is having some issues around the world regarding to the laws, different laws for the people in Mahinur, for example. Open your mic. Do you know
Yes.
about Gemini being accessible in Egypt by the IPA?
I haven't tried it, but
I'm just asking
not
if you
sure.
know. I'm asking.
No, I don't.
You don't know. Okay. So Roger, you have you tried from Spain to access the Gemini model? Because I remember your project is also related to AI. What?
Well, like you mean the one on the website?
I mean
Or
Gemini from
downloading?
Google.
Hmm?
Have you tried to access Gemini from Google? Personally,
But
I'm asking a personal question.
like on the website or downloading the model?
No, you cannot download it because it's closed source. You have to go through the API. I'm not talking about accessing the chatbot. I'm talking about accessing the API.
No, not yet.
Okay. So for the other colleagues in India, Manas, have you tried to access the API? And the question is yes, because you did the presentation. The answer. So in India, you have access to Gemini through the API or via the Google Cloud Console. But for example, in Spain, as from now, we don't have access to Gemini from API, and we have to access via the Google Cloud Console. It depends on the place of the world. We already have done 2 or 3 presentations for this, and you have to go to check this AI Google Dev available regions URL. For now, if you're in your region, in your country, Gemini is available being accessed by a simple API or via the Google Cloud Console that is a little bit more complicated. It's up to every contributor to check this. But it happens different things. It depends on the place on the world where you are. It's a question of regulations from the countries. And talking about money, and this is, Ryan is saying it's not available in Canada without a VPN. Because of privacy issues, it's exactly the same that in Europe, Ryan. But as long as I know, you never have the final notice till Google makes the announcement. I'm confident that this will change in a period of weeks. So we will have, most of the contributors will have access to the Gemini thing via API, because accessing address the Google Cloud Console is possible now from around the world, but this is a little bit more tricky, more complicated. Via the API is very simple. So regarding to the money question, Yusuf, and this is the asterisk. APA runs on contributors' expense. We don't have budget for this. What happens here? When you are trying, you will have to make a request to the API, whatever API you use. And Gemini, as far as I know, Manas, help me on this, is free in India.
Yes, it is free currently in India.
It's free currently. That's the word, currently, because they are still launching the product and opening to all the countries. The places where you can access to the API is free for now. For now, the question is for now. At some time, it might change. It might change in a day, in some weeks, or in a month, but it will change. It will become a paid API, okay? Because companies have to make money to get back his R&D. So in Europe, we don't have access to the Gemini due to legal questions, and in India you have, and in Egypt you don't have. We don't know if you have. In Canada, it's not available, so it depends on the place. But the question I wanted to talk, and it has to be very clear, if you develop an application, it is up to you on the cost of the application while you are doing the coding, and you don't have to use too much requests to the API. I mean, I will say a number. I'm just imagine from the other API I've used in the past, but a contributor developing the application during the GSOC time, making, I don't know, a few dozens of requests, will pay something like $10. I mean, that's peanuts. That's nothing. I mean, and the point is that when you open, you finally get your project, I would say, published. You will not be publishing your own key, so the application will have to be accessed by the key that with the user. So at some point you have to put a request or a place on settings that has, if you want to use this Gemini API key, you have to use your own API key, and the user will be the one paying for the service, not you. So this is not going to be, it's not going to be expensive for you. $10 in 3 months, that's not too much money, because you're going to get more money from Google if you've been selected. So questions on this? Roger, you're using a private model, as far as I remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to use the yellow V8 model and using a custom dataset to tune it a little bit.
Yeah, but you will run it locally in the AI
Yeah,
server.
on a Docker, yeah, on the server.
Yeah, I don't remember. Is there any other person here that has a proposal for AI and wants to comment? It's not a must, because at this time proposals are private, not public. The very first day when the proposal will be public will be the day that we are making the presentation, proposal day. But till now, proposals are secret, because we don't want you to fight with other contributors. So any questions on this? Mahinur, Manas, Rohit, Prithvi, Amit, Saumya? No, fantastic. In the chat? Rohit, go.
So like I'm using the Grok API and it's like we can hit around 20 requests per minute. So should I, and for the like base server means
Okay.
locally we can hit in many times as we can.
There's gonna be a slide about Grok in a second. We will talk about Grok. Any other question? Joseph, so my key is only needed in development phase. Did I understand correctly? Of course, Joseph, we don't want understand this, not for whatever use service, whatever code you do using a standard service, you don't want to publish your key externally. So it's only needed in development. If you are selected and you do the project, your project will have to have a settings place where you say, please insert your key for whatever service, Grok, Gemini API, name it as you want. Okay, Joseph? Okay, I'm gonna talk about, I think, Rohit, there is a page on the slide full of for this. and it's the next one. This was the reason I was not answering you. Okay, so let's gonna comment on Grok. So Grok ending in Q, not in K, because this is from X, and same company, different companies, different models, but one ends in Q, the other ends in K. And Grok is not a model. Grok is a technology. It's a platform. Basically, Grok are a company that started in 2016, and what they do is a very nice platform consisting in a new processor called LPU and some compilers and so on to inference, not train models at the fastest speed anyone has in the world. It's amazing. So if you want to inference Gemma, that is the goal of our project, take a look at the numbers. So those numbers are Gemma being inferenced in Grok. Okay, so if we go to the speed, is number one. See the green, 130 tokens per second. Quality, curiously, is 50. It is, I would say, it's in the middle. Why is the reason? Because Gemma is a 7 billion model. It's not a large model, so it has less entries. So it has, I would say, less knowledge. Middle is good, but if you go to the price, again, in price and in speed, nothing wins Grok. So this is the reason we are making promotion. And also, I added these two little icons here because remember we made a presentation talking with our mentor Alfredo, a Google Developer Expert in Flutter. There is a PubDev package, Grok 003, maybe changed at any moment, that you can use directly Grok in Flutter. So it's already done and you can use it, so it's easier. So so Rohit, I don't know if this answers a little bit your questions. Price is the cheapest. So inferencing Gemma from Grok is cheaper than in anywhere, and not only cheaper but faster, 20 times faster. Okay, does this answer a little bit your question?
No, it's clear.
It's clear. So regarding the money, I say that it's up to the contributor to pay for the development key, but you say that at this moment most of the companies are thinking their strategies. Grok, the people from Grok do not have a pricing strategy. So yes, they are giving it for free for now, and what they are doing is that closing the number of access to 20 by minute, but you're not going to do 20 access per minute. If you have an application on production, of course, it can be 20 or 20,000 or 20 million, but not in your testing thing. I mean, you will do one in a minute, not or maybe two, but not as much. So I think for now it's working, and at any moment they will. This is going to happen any moment. They will open their pricing strategy, and they say that they'll always be the cheapest ones in the market. Why? Because his hardware is lots faster and totally different in the architecture, so they can maintain a very good price. Any other question on this? Any other question on the Grok thing? So Grok, again, for you to understand, the persons that are going to do projects that have to inference a Gemma model, you can do two things. You can get the Gemma model, and because it's open source, and compile it in our Docker artificial intelligence servers local, and you then from your application you inference the model in local. But also you can do the other version in the cloud, inferencing Gemma through Grok. We have still not tested this, but I'm 100% sure that will be faster if we access Gemma through Grok, that Gemma through our internal network. Even will be faster, because we will run it in a Docker service with a machine that is not the fastest in the world. So I'm 100% sure that it will be faster if you develop through the API than not through your own API developed in our local artificial intelligence server. Okay? Mahinur, are you listening?
Yes.
I'm looking at you. Okay, let's gonna see another question that I wanted to show you. So the question is that thing. This company has become something like viral in the last weeks. I know them from years ago because the guy on the right is the guy that developed the circuits from special circuits from Google to make artificial intelligence things that are named. Who of you knows what's the name of the circuits that Google developed in home for doing artificial intelligence? I'm making an open question. What's the name of the processors that Google developed in home for doing artificial intelligence? Ting, 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 ting. Tip. It's not a CPU, it's not a GPU. GPUs are from NVIDIA or from AMD. CPUs are most from Intel or AMD. But this was another kind of CPU. What was the name? Rohit, you know that.
LPU.
Vedant, you don't have to participate. You're a mentor.
Okay, sorry. Okay,
Okay, no problem. Explain. You say?
okay, me.
Shaunak is saying it correctly in the YouTube chat. The CPUs that Google developed internally for artificial intelligence were called TPUs, for Tensor Processing Unit, okay? TPUs. And the guy on the right on this video, the guy here is the one that developed the TPUs. He was at Google, working for Google. He was the man that developed the TPUs. And think about anything you use with Google artificial intelligence runs on TPUs. And this guy was the inventor. But now after years, he's the CEO of Grok, and he has invented the other new CPU that it's called. Any of you know how this new CPU is called? The CPU from Grok. Vedant, you can participate. Okay, go. Anyone of you know what's the name? No. Perfect. The name is LPU. Okay, for Language Processing Unit, not TPUs for Tensor Processing Unit. So this guy has developed another chip, another processor called LPU, and is the base of the Grok thing. And let me show you this video. I'm gonna stay quiet. This is a demo he made in Dubai a few weeks ago, and with the lady on the left is one of the most important media reporters from CNN, and let's go see this interview.
Is unnatural.
All right, I asked you that question, but why don't I actually just ask Grok?
All right, let's do that. So we're going to turn it on.
Let's do it. I know the answers to this, Grok, but what makes you different
Well, first,
to another?
Hey, I'm Grok. You can talk to me like I'm a person.
All right,
How
I
can
will
help you
do.
today?
What makes you different from a large language model that I may have used in the past?
Sure, I'm a bit different from those big language models you've used before. I'm a language user interface, or LUI, designed to have more natural
Got it.
engaging
How
conversations.
similar are you to a
I'm
human
here to
brain?
Well, I'm not a human brain, but I'm designed to understand and respond to you like one.
Yeah.
I can process and generate human language in a natural way.
Got it.
But I don't
Tell
have
me
feelings
something
that you
most
don't
people
consciously.
don't know.
Here's something interesting. Did you know that octopuses have 3 hearts? 2 pump blood to the gills, while the 3rd pumps it to the rest of the body. And when an octopus swims,
you
the
tell
heart that
it?
delivers
No,
blood to the
are
body
you
stops
sure?
beating, which is why
Are you
octopuses
kidding me?
prefer to crawl rather than swim, unless necessary.
Write me a poem. It's Valentine's Day. A very short one. Very, 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 very short. But lovely.
Oh, I see. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm glad you're having a lovely day. I hope you get to spend time with someone special or do something fun.
This is
Is there
real.
anything you'd like to talk about or
No, I'm not. I'm giving up on you. You've done everything that I asked and more. Thank you so much. I feel as if I'm talking to a human being. It's worrying me. How worried are other?
So guys, what do you catch from this video? Why I put this video here? you on the meet that are near, or the ones on the YouTube that are seeing it a little bit late. What do you get from this video? Don't be shy. Next time I will not invite you to a meet. If you have this, we are on a meet to interact live. Manas, what do you see with this video?
The speed of inference is very fast. It understands the input and also gives the output very fast.
You
And answers.
go, Amit, go.
I would like to, yeah, the answers were very like is very like what we want to listen. That types of answers were given.
Okay, what else?
Just how good it replicates a real human being.
Mahinur.
Yes, I think it's good that it seems like we're talking to a human or someone who understands and replies very fast. So,
Saumya.
Shows how good it replicates a human and fast it responds.
Any of you have seen this video before? I sent it to you, to some of contributors by email, for one thing. So the point is that the name of this slide is "You can do that." Why? Because this technology is available for the ones of you that want to make artificial intelligence program this year. This is made with Grok, and then in the middle, I will show another slide that shows up how this works. In the middle, that makes the what we call TTS, text to the interchange from the recognizing the questions from the person, passing it to the large language model, being inference on Grok, and the answer from the large language model being converted again to voice. So, as most of you noted, Manas said it very technically, and other person said more in a normal person, that this was something like a regular conversation with a person, because there was almost no lag. I mean, if I say something, your brain catches immediately and is able to answer. But remember, this is going through several steps, and the point is that if you do this with other language models or other systems, you don't have this speed. So if you don't have this speed, you notice that this is not a real thing. But if you have this speed, you start to feeling that you are talking with a person, or at least you have immediate reward, because the feedback is amazingly fast. So you see the reporter that was amazed, but she was saying to the guy, "Are you sure you have not prepared this demo?" And she said, "No, it is not prepared. You can ask the system whatever you want. You can stop the system whatever you want." Okay.
Shit is unnatural.
So, remember, so that we will have the open source models running in our artificial intelligence server. It has been upgraded a little bit with another NVIDIA, Super NVIDIA, nothing else. And this runs inside our system. You already know that. And I want to thank you, the persons that have been those days, Manas, Rofaida, Rafael, and others that were explaining to you, training you about the different parts of our technology, making the Dockers for in the AI models with Flutter for the artificial intelligence server, and Rafael was explaining how the artificial intelligence is built. You have all of these streamings in our place, and also remember that Alfredo was explaining to you how to use Gemini and Gemma models. He made a very nice demo of the multimodality with Flutter. Okay, so please remember that we make a lot of these streamings for you to know and to be trained and try to reach GSOC. And if you don't reach GSOC, you've been trying a lot from the community, and we hope you like this, because we make a tremendous effort for doing this. What else? Pre-prompting. Search a word for this term. This is something the ones that are when I go in artificial intelligence project have to do. So usually when you write a prompt, you send a prompt to the model. You send some text, but there is a technique called pre-prompting that you send some prompts to the model before the user says something, just to train or to figure out, to make figure out the model where I'm gonna be talking about, what I'm gonna do, and this is called pre-prompting. Search a web for the term because you have to use this. One simple situation is that, imagine you ask to the model, you are in Paris and you ask, what is the best restaurant here in Paris? And you write on the text box, you write, what is the best restaurant? Or you say, because most of you are gonna do voices projects with voice, you ask the system, what is the best restaurant here? And then for you, when the model answers you on whatever question, you need to have the coordinates, because you are going to present this on the Liquid Galaxy, and the Liquid Galaxy needs coordinates to send a KML to go to a place or to make whatever thing on the Google Earth. So you need the coordinates. But you don't have to make the question. You don't have to make the user to make the question. And please send it to me the coordinates. It's not needed. You simply program it in the rear. You make a pre-prompting, telling the booth, the model, every time the user makes a question, please send me the coordinates of whatever he's talking about or she's talking about in JSON format, for example. So look for this technique. It's called pre-prompting. It's sending prompts to the model, but not the ones made by the user, but the ones that you feel as a developer that it's needed for the good behavior of the model for your application. Okay, search for the web and use it. Questions on this? Any question? Shaunak is saying AI should be used inside the Liquid Galaxy app, just like the Grow. Users should feel like they are talking to. When you say Grow, I understand, Shaunak, you are misspelling. You want to say Grok, not Grow. Let me see. I am pushing this thing this year. We all, the community, are pushing this thing this year, and we believe that when we end GSOC this year, listen to my words, when we end this year GSOC, there will be more than one proposal that will make the tablets not working, unusable. What do I mean? That you just sit in front of in the Liquid Galaxy and start talking to the Liquid Galaxy. This is what happened this year. With some of the projects, this is going to happen this year. Because we have the technology, and the technology is so easy, believe me. There is enormous complexity behind the video we have seen from the CNN, but the companies are doing it as easy to reach for developers, that we are going to have this year. We are going to interact the Liquid Galaxy with voice, with models and voice. So it's your opportunity to be there. Questions? Grok, yes. Ending in Q. Okay. Pre-made prompts library. Okay. So imagine you've been developing an artificial intelligence project, and then the user has to stand in front of the machine with an open text box in the tablet or with an interface with voice, and the user has no idea what to do. You have crafted a very nice help page, but the users never look at the help page. So in all the projects that are made with artificial intelligence, like we did in the past with whatever kind of movements of the Liquid Galaxy and so on, the project will have to include a library of a minimum 20 previously created and tested prompts. Something like a demos, something like the user only have to select in a selector box, scroll down, or whatever kind of user interaction, nice user interaction you do in Flutter, and then the user selects something like, what is the best restaurant in the place where I am? So just because people do not have any idea, some people don't have any idea how to deal with a model, a language model. They don't know how to talk to them. This is what we call prompting, and this is not easy. And you as developer have to. It depends on your project, because you're working. Some of you are working on projects for tourism, so are working on projects for creating histories. The different projects we have on the proposal document. The document we will have the project proposals. There are many artificial intelligence projects, and it depends on the project, but at least every project that is artificial intelligence focus has to have a library accessible by the usuary of CSS simply clicking and then sending to the system, sending and showing it for the user to learn what's asking to the what you are asking to the model. As I said, what is the best restaurant where I am? Or if I went to this city and the system knows the city because you are located in a place in the Liquid Galaxy, what is the best place I can go to have a beer, or to see the best holy festival in my place or whatever. So you have to include a library of pre-made prompts. Okay. And another question is the ones that you are gonna work in text prompts. Please do not allow the user to create something like a prompt like these enormous prompts, text prompts that you have seen on the web, maybe used. No. We have to be tight, because this kind of interaction do not have to be. We don't have to offer the user the possibility of entering a 100 words to do something on the Liquid Galaxy. No, it has to be easy. Not much at a couple of lines, a dozen words, as much for a prompt. I don't know if you catch me, but I open the mic if you have any question for this. Questions? It's clear? Fantastic. Let's wait a second for the people on the YouTube. Let's gonna go to the next thing. I think now we are okay. Regarding voices, as I said, voice is gonna be key this year, and projects incorporating voice are the most wanted, because we are gonna see this Liquid Galaxy just like a person. It was Shaunak said this. The Liquid Galaxy apps should feel like you're talking to a person. This is gonna happen this year, and you can do that using voices in the Liquid Galaxy AI server, that like Mentor Vedant did last year with the BARC model. You can still use it, and Vedant is gonna tell to us about this in a second, or many other cloud-based that usually are paid ones. Again, this is not going to be expensive, because you don't have to use it too much. So at this moment, one of the best is DeepGram. 11 Labs was very good last year. Bapi, ZeroBot, and there are many others. But the demo, I can tell you, the demo that you have seen with the CNN, I think it was developed with DeepGram. So look at this graphic. So the person interacts with the system, and then there is a speech to text. So some API that recognizes your voice and saying, I like cookies. And then this I like cookies is from your voice with an external local BARC or external API, and this is sent to the large language model, and the large language model repeats answer, great, me too. And then there is another API, it can be the same that the speech to text, or maybe another different, that converts this text to speech and names it, says in aloud. So this simple graphic is the one that, this was taken from a YouTuber, is the one that was made the CNN demo using Grok and using, I believe it was not Gemma, it was Mistral maybe, but this is going to be the same answers more or less. So this is key for this year projects. Any question on this? Any question? No? I'm still here. Believe me, I'm not disappearing. I'm just using a napkin, tissue, because I'm having a call, and you can note it in my voice. Any question? Aritra, we are allowed to use a voice TTS like DeepGram although this has only $200 of free credit. If you're asking me this question, you have not following the conversation to the man. Yes, you are allowed to use a voice TTS diagram. And you have $200 of free credit. That's fantastic. Then if you go up to this, you will have to pay for the credits. But you don't have to use it as much. I'm totally sure that for that kind of projects we do on the Liquid Galaxy, it has to be on the range of dozens of dollars, not hundreds of dollars, for any kind of API. Okay. Any question? Other question here in the mid? Good. Let's continue. Vedant.
Okay. So as mentor Andrew told us that voice is going to be key this year. So the graphic he showed you, in order to converse with the large language model, what three things you need to have? You need to have a speech to text, you need to have an LLM, you need to have a text to speech, right? So for speech to text, you can use the normal Android library, right, which you can access via Flutter. Then for the large language model, you'll be using Grok or Gemini or Gemma. And for the text to speech, you'll be using the Bach model instead of the default Android text to speech library, because it is not as natural. Okay, and now let me get into the Bach model. So Bach model is developed by Suno AI. It is a text to audio AI model. There are two models. One is a large model and one is the smaller model. In my case, what I did was I packaged the small model with an API. And I believe you all know about Docker. If not, then I believe we have come too far with a lot of training sessions on Docker. So by now you should know that Docker is very useful. In our case, it's just a container. So in that container, I've packaged the model, the API. All you have to do is from the Docker Hub registry, you have to pull it locally. And then you just have to hit the endpoint. And even in the same will be done in the AI lab, in the LiDAR lab server. Okay. So the same thing will be running there, so you don't have to worry. For testing, you can run that locally. You can run the Docker image and hit the API endpoint. And the same will be done while testing in the LiDAR lab AI server. Okay. So for more details, you can head up to this library. Just go to Docker, search for Vedant King /Bach2. And remember, it is Bach2, not just Bach. There was a problem recently. Someone just mailed me for that. It is Bach2. You can go there and you can read the Docker documentation. And in the Docker documentation, there is also a link to the GitHub repo. So you can go into the GitHub repo for more details.
One question, Vedant. Have you follow up the model this year? How it evolves?
The model is basically so for the larger model, there are other features, like there are annotations like exclamation, and the speech usually becomes more natural and faster, but it cannot be updated since we are using the smaller model, right? And I will have to check up if there is an update for a smaller model, but there is definitely an update for the inference which is running for the larger model.
I have followed a bit what they have been doing in the past months, because remember, those guys are open source and they have less resources, and I'm not sure. I mean, they have the code still, but I'm not sure they have evolved a lot. They have focused on other things like post-cloning and so on. But maybe we can, it's up to the contributor, not to us, to find another open source TTS model for converting text to speech and speech to text in the projects. So Bark, we already have... Go.
As it is an open source repository, I have seen that a lot of open source contributors have upgraded the model. and increase its accuracy and other features, and even have it inferenced, I believe.
No, yeah, I'm totally sure. What I was trying to say is that we talk about Bark because we used this last year. Remember when you and me interact for the proposal, it was a change at some point we detected. But what I'm trying to say is that maybe this year have appeared other models, open source model for doing the same, and I'm just not tracking them because this year this is totally crazy. The artificial intelligence are doing continuous new appearance. It's a crazy time, but I'm 100% sure that there will be other open source models that will do the same or better or the same. So it's up to the contributor to find out this. We have Bark, we know how it works. We have your work for last year, but it's up to the contributor to offer other models if you are looking for an open source local artificial intelligence server running model for the TTS thing. If you are going to go outside, yes, use the DeepGram or any other Level Labs or whatever other model. Okay, questions? I agree, Ryan. You're saying on the YouTube, $200 is a lot. Cost is low for DeepGram. Yes. Also, I'm gonna say something curious. Is that remember that this market is crazy, and most of the companies are still not having pricing or having looking for the place in the market. So maybe we develop something for a company like, I don't want to name it, DeepGram or whatever, and suddenly they disappear because this is what happens to the companies, to the startups at this moment. But for example, if we go for Bark, for an open source model, it's going to be strange. The model disappears, the community disappears because those are communities like us. Okay, no questions. Let's continue. So again, I'm not going to push this, but don't be lazy. Remember that we are doing a lot of streamings for you to be trained. We did last week this training session on the Liquid Galaxy project with Gemini and Gemma. So you have plenty of more information about this kind of projects. I'm not going to run it. And now, Yash, is your thing.
All right. So I have been seeing that a lot of you guys were having issues on the KML part. So you were having issues on how to display these KMLs onto the Google Maps and how to have a synchronous effect of the visualization that would go on and on the Liquid Galaxy as well as the Google Maps of your app. So here is a small code snippet, which is you can also find it on the documentation of the Google Maps of the Google developers website. So what we are trying to do here is creating a pin element, and you might have seen onto the Google Map and Earth that by default, the Google Earth has a yellow color pin, which does not look really neat. And the one on Google Maps is a red color, which is sort of an average pin as well. So I would want you to create some good looking AI, not AI, good looking pins and good looking UI. And this is just a glimpse of what you can do with Google Maps. So there are stuff like polylines and advanced marker pins. There are marker elements and there are pin elements to be styled upon. There are polygons, and you can just have two sort of approaches. One approach is you have a KML file which is made by scraping some data or getting some sort of coordinates, and you are converting them to a KML file. And then you go to your platform code. Let's say you were using Flutter, but you go to your Java code in the directories, and you try to get the Google Maps for the Java. You do a platform code where you are giving the path of that particular KML file that you have scrapped. And this will allow you to directly mount on the KML that was available by the KML file onto the Google Maps. Now, this is one way. Practicality is that it has some sort of caveats, like it can be a little hard depending on the security measures that have been taken on a particular Android version. You will have to tweak it based on the Android versions and so on and so forth. So the second, or the easier engineered way, is to have the all the coordinates in a JSON format, which is also called a GeoJSON or a geographical JSON, which has the JSON in a key and object structure where you have all of the coordinates of the lat and long coordinates. So I would want you to practically take this approach that whenever you are making a visualize the KML button, then it is doing two things. Firstly, it is sending all the KML that was generated based on the coordinate data to the liquid galaxy, and secondly, it is also generating from the coordinates maybe in a for loop to generate these structures using a polyline and an advanced marker element, which can be easily seen on the Google Maps documentation. And it is available for any of the languages. You can just toggle on and see it in remarkably any language that you want. You are following Kotlin, Java, I don't know, any of the languages, it is available. So this is a basic setup, but you will have to innovate. You will have to make some good UIs. You will have to see that you are not just using the average looking, the normal looking default icons that were available. You are making a sort of a thing which has good UI. And do another thing. You can just go to the Google Earth software or the website for earth.google.com, which will allow you to play with and create some of the polygons and polylines by yourself. You can see how they add a translucent effect on the body color, and they have a line that is the marking boundary of that polygon, which has a opaque color, which gives you an effect. It gives you an effect. It makes the UI much better looking than the usual UIs. So I would want you to just like go into KML a bit, and we can go on to the next slide. If anyone has a question, feel free to ask. So any questions? All right. If someone has a question, feel free to anytime just click on that raise a hand button. So next I would want to say is the KML issue that was arising is you might be seeing that Google Maps is based on the Mercator projector, which means that it is a flattened form of the Google Earth, right? So it is 2D. And I do get you might have to make some trajectories. Let's say it is based on some satellite that is orbiting and you want to create a 3D effect, but on a 2D map. So how will you do it? So I also further pushed it. This is also some sort of a code snippet, which is very intuitive. If you look at it, I'm just creating an arc effect by using a sinusoidal function, which allows me to attach 2 points. Like you can see that there is a blue line which is attaching the red and the blue markers, and there is a white line that is creating a 3D sort of effect. And you can use these effects, and this will be easily available by seeing the Google Maps documentation of polylines. And the effect is to just create a polyline which has immediate joining points, which are in an arc form rather than just directly joining 2 points. So using these effects will give you a touch-up that the 3D elements that you are showcasing on your Google Earth very easily can be also made into this form. And you have to, I would say, tweak it a bit in the UI part. You have to give it some time. I have seen many timelines written by proposals. I'm not going to name any, but they have given that, yeah, I will work on the visualization for 1 week, it will be done. It's not so. It is something that will run in parallel all the time and all across the Google GSOC timeline that you have. So please be very careful when assigning these things time. Make a realistic view rather than just trying to quantize everything by making a 1 week or so some sort of solid boundaries for each of the tasks that you're doing. Most of the things will be, when you're actually implementing, run in parallel. So just take a look at that. If someone has a question, otherwise we can move on to the next slide.
Any question? Hello, any question?
All right, Rohit has a question.
So I need to ask that, let's say if we have to show a 3D structure, let's say suppose a building or something like a cylinder. Is that possible with this technique?
Yeah, so which makes me go to the next slide. It is already answered in the next one, so we can just take a look at it. I think, no, not in the next one. We have to go to the previous one only. So the thing is, when you are making a 3D file, it is called a collada or a .dae formatted file, which is like a GLTF for your Google Maps and Google Earth. A GLTF is basically a 3D model that you use on the web. It is like very much associates very well. It is a coded format of that thing. You can make it very easily onto the Google Earth because it allows you, it has the support for these collada files. While you are making it onto the Google Maps, I would want you to just use a picture element or something that can give you or associate with the feeling that you are making a placeholder for it, rather than actually making a 3D element for the maps as well. Which is why I was talking about these effects, that you can make some sort of similar effects and you have to tweak a bit into the UI part. All right. Does that answer your question?
So means that we need to like if we cannot show the 3D, then we can show just a picture or
Just a
some
2D
details.
element that can work for it would be fine.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right. So you will have to take care because this Google Maps is not a 3D touch up like the Google Earth is. It is a 2D thing, and you will have to make some sort of compromises, so forth. And I would say you will have to tweak a lot to make the 3D colladas work on your Google Earth as well. You will have to see for the documentation because there are some factors like when I was also making, I wanted to make a 3D volcano, and you might be seeing that there is no 3D volcano on the La Palma app, which I take the factor that when I was tweaking onto the documentation, I saw that there was some sort of a zoom effect that was not accurately matching the sizes when we are uh, like toggling or moving onto the Google Earth software or the Liquid Galaxy for that matter. So it will allow you to create those 3D, but how you will make it work, how you will tweak the factors that arise, some sort of bug that might happen, that's all that you have to do in your coding ground. All right.
Got it.
All right. So now we can go to the next one.
I wanted to add, I'm trying to
Yeah.
look to find a video of a project we did many years ago. Many, when I say many, many, as you said, you cannot represent 3D on the maps side of the application in the Flutter application, but you can do that on the Google Earth. I mean, on the version you send to the Liquid Galaxy. I'm just trying because I have hundreds and hundreds of videos. Remember that we've been doing this for 14 years, so I'm trying to find because there was a student, Mark, that did open smart cities project, and he painted, he crafted very nice volumes, 3D volumes on the Liquid Galaxy screens. I'm not finding the right video. It's complicated, but they made some kind of, as Rohit said, cylinders, pyramids, and very nice KMLs, complex KMLs. And this is nice because you show up. I mean, if you always see from a zenithal view, from the top view of the Google Earth, the Liquid Galaxy, you see things, you see those flat, but in the moment you get some perspective, you rotate the camera, you see the full 3D, and then if you present these kind of KMLs with 3D volumes, that's very nice. It's a very, very nice way of showing up the possibilities of the system. So you can do maybe a presentation for the maps in the interface. No, I'm not able to find it in this moment. You can make a 2D presentation in KML in the tablet thing with the maps, but you can send sideways a 3D version to the Liquid Galaxy. This is something you can do because we have done that in the past. Go ahead, Vedant.
Isn't there a GSOC 2023 project where 3D models are being used by Ana Laura, the COVID project?
Which one?
I did see the COVID project. I'll share the link.
No. I know. I don't remember I don't remember this. She did some 3D graphics too.
Yes, 3D graphics. Yes, clean.
This was last year.
Last year.
Yeah. An Laura COVID project that we have a trouble with Google. 1 second. it happened that as we were still on some places in the world, they were still on the pandemic thing. They didn't want any kind of program uploaded to the Play Store related to the COVID. So his project was not published for this reason. It also happened to Mahinor's project. I don't remember what was the reason. Mahinor, what was the project? Because the problem, why we didn't publish your project last year?
The problem was because of the Google sign in. Because I had Google sign in.
Yeah. Well, to be true, it's the only 2 times this happened to us. But this may happen. Sometimes it happens. I am just not 2022. This is not. It has to be 2023. You have the.
I sent you the link.
I
sent you the link.
Which way? I have 7 screens. What screen do I have to look?
WhatsApp.
In WhatsApp. Okay, let me try to find my WhatsApp. It has to be somewhere over there. You know what's the problem? That as all my screens come from the Mine 5 screens come from a same graphic card, if I press in the bad place, suddenly it will appear on the streaming. I have to be careful with this. I'm just opening another WhatsApp window. I have it here. I have it here. I have it here. Let me try to make it appear. Yes, you're totally right. 1 second. I have to share another screen. One second. Here she's. Look at the graphics. The graphics make something like it pumped from the city. So it was a polygon, but with 3D views in the number of cases they have on the different countries. Oh, take a look. It is also the meat from last year. So you're right. This is having. But this is plain. I mean, this is something like extruding the polygon, and this is nice. This is nice. But the other project I was looking for has something like pyramids, like cones, like another different kind of polygon lines, 3D polygon lines that were a bit nicer. This was nice from Ana Laura, but the other one show other different things. But this is a good example. Is there any question here? Any question? No? In the chat? Okay, let's go to the next one.
Okay, now the third aspect is how you will have a seamless interaction between your Google Earth and Maps. So many of you wonder that if we are making any sort of touch movements onto the maps, then it should also do the same exact movements onto the Google Earth. And you might have seen that sort of code or that sort of visual appearance onto the La Palma Volcano Tracker app as well. So the code that we are using is an approx of this particular snippet that we have. This was written by a Google employee who was telling that how we can make a relation between the zoom factor of the Google Maps to the elevation in kilometers, which is on the Google Earth. So you know that Google Earth has an elevation level. When you are zooming in and zooming out of the Google Earth, it has few hundreds of and thousands of kilometers of an elevation level. But Google Maps does not have the same thing. It has a zoom factor which can be like 14 to 21. It can be 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. So they are just merely numbers that are representing a zoom factor. And when you write a very higher number for zoom, it might make your map appear multiple times, which you might not want in most cases. So this was that particular formula that allowed me to have a thing. And interestingly, because Google Maps is a Mercator projection, which means that it also depends on the latitude of that particular coordinate, basically, which means that the Earth is bulging at the equator, flatter in the pole, something we learned in your classics geography. So this allows me to have the Google Maps to be zoomed in such a way that it will correspond to that particular elevation on the Google Earth. And that is the only clear difference that you have to make. That is the only algorithm that you have to use. Other than that, everything, latitude, longitude, all of these things correspond. Even all of the rotations and pan movements also. So I would want you to just take a look into it, not just readily copy the code, whichever is available to you, because yeah, that would do the work, but it will not give you the skill set which you would want from this project. Because when you develop a project, it like does something for you also. It gives you an outcome that you are having the knack of solving some problems, and which I would want in this particular scenario. So yeah, if someone has a question in this, please let me know.
This is a very important thing because you move the map on the user interface, and then you move the Liquid Galaxy. No questions. We are okay. Let's gonna go for the next one. Vedant.
Okay, so this slide is about how we believe should an ideal proposal should be. Okay, it should be simple as in not very simple, but simple as in with less technical details. Okay, it should be as if you are pitching it to a person. Okay, if you are trying to explain the concept of the project to a person who is a non-technical person who is not involved with technicalities, that should be the 70% of your project proposal. And the remaining 30% of a proposal should be the technical details, because as we are a technical organization, we also need the technical details of how you're going to achieve the objective. Okay, so let's get through the points. It should be simple, straightforward, and only it should be focusing on the project. A lot of the contributors are trying to focus on the AI model. The AI model is not a very big part of the project. We are basically just integrating the LLMs with our project. We are not focusing solely on the AI model, so just let it be a small part of the proposal. And we do not want the org description. We know what Liquid Galaxy does. It is just for us, right? These proposals are only being sent to us, so we do not want our own description. We don't want code snippets like the ones Mentor Yash just said, the connection to Liquid Galaxy rig or any KMLs. We do not want it, right? And just like Mentor Yash said, visualizations would be much better in the place of KMLs, or even if you're trying to hit the API service, or even if you think that it is a good idea to hit the API service of Grok and put that into a code snippet and paste it into the proposal, that's not a good idea. Okay, and apart from the personal information, the link technologies, let's talk about the project overview, where you will be describing the project itself. So that should be firstly a brief description of how the project is going to be by the user's perspective, okay, not a developer's perspective, which means that there should not be a lot of technical details, okay, for the 70% of the part, obviously. Then in the end, you can describe how you're going to do it, which technologies you're going to use, okay. And there will definitely be a list of features in your application, and those features you have to describe mostly. Again, 70% should be user's perspective of what the feature is, what will it do, and how will it work, how the user will use it. And in that specific feature, you can also add mockups to describe how it will appear for the user. And then you can add the technical description of how you are going to achieve that feature, okay. And you can do this for all the features, and do not get extremely technical, okay. We appreciate that you are getting technical, but inserting code snippets is of no use, trust us, because nobody is going to read those code snippets. You are just we we also understand that you are only trying to do this in order to increase the number of pages. Could you please get to the next slide?
Let me add one thing here, Vedant, is that to make this clear, we will add in the proposal master proposal page, we will add a section saying this specifically. We do not want code snippet, except that this is something very new and it adds a value to the organization, but it's simple for the things that you want to show us that you know a lot. It's not right. This will be for next year. Go.
Okay. And also, I forgot, does anyone have any questions? I forgot to confirm that. Okay, no questions. Okay, so we'll move forward. Okay, so let me tell you that a 15-page proposal, which is a relatively short amount, we need a minimum of 10-page proposal, right? So 15-page proposal is a good number of pages. Okay, if the project description is pretty accurate and you have described your project so well that the user can grasp that in 15 pages only. Other than that, if you are submitting us a 30-page proposal, and even after submitting a 30-page proposal, the project objective is not clear, then it is of no use. Okay, so quality is always better than quantity. You have to focus on describing your project properly. And yes, as I said, you have to pitch 70% of the proposal to a non-technical client or a user. And the 30% of the proposal should have technical details of technologies you're going to use, how you're going to achieve those, and the design of how you're going to achieve the entire design. And the features I told you about in the project overview, UI UX can be considered in the feature section as well. So you can make a section for UI UX as well, as we focus on that a lot. Visualization is a key here in Liquid Galaxy. So you can use UI UX as a section also, and for each feature you can display how that feature will appear to the user using those mockups and UI layouts. And let me just mention that technical details are not bad, but just keep them limited. Okay, only 30%, and don't simply paste code snippets. You can describe in text in simple languages, in layman terms, what your feature is going to be and how the user is going to use it. And you can also illustrate them using those mockups and how the feature is going to appear to the user. Okay, try to describe the project as if you're trying to sell it, and structure the proposal sequentially. Let me just mention this because a lot of people have been writing long paragraphs. You don't have to mention that. You can use bullet points, then you can elaborate on those bullet points. That would be a much better structure for your proposal. Any questions on this slide, please? Okay, no questions. So next slide, please.
Let me add, Vedant, that I just wrote
Sure.
in the master proposal that code snippets are not allowed unless it has a new functionality. So this year we are gonna pass this, but next year we are not allow code snippets unless they are new. And also, Mahinur, in the mockup section of the proposal, it says clearly, include at least 6 screenshot mockups of the UX and 6 screenshot mockups of the KML Liquid Galaxy. So it's not my thing. It is on the proposal. It says 6 minimum for each one. So 12 total. Of course, you can do that. 1. We will not take a look at your proposal. Okay, next thing, Mentor, Vedant.
Yes. And the link technology section, I did notice a few contributors. What they are doing is they are, let's say we're talking about Flutter. So they write Flutter as the topic section in link technologies. They put the Flutter logo and then they start describing Flutter in order to fill pages. That is not a good approach. You should just write Flutter. We know what is Flutter. Okay. Then you should write why you are using it, of course, for development. And the same can be done for Docker. And the use case can be, let's say, Dockerizing your AI model or something, right? So the link technology section is not supposed to be very long. It's supposed to be short. Okay, the project overview section is supposed to be long, where you describe the project. Okay, and the timeline should be a regular timeline. It should have in the coding period about 12 weeks, excluding the community bonding period. So make the timeline accordingly, because most of the projects have the 12 weeks timeline. So stick to that. And fine tuning is the least of your priorities, and it is not your feature. And even as mentor Andrew said in the earlier slides, that fine tuning should be done before the coding period, either in the community bonding period or before that. So just don't put in a lot of the AI model stuff and the fine tuning stuff in the proposal, and cover your proposal with that. Your proposal should be focused on the project objective instead, and stick to the project goals. That's what I would like to end this with. Any questions?
No questions. Okay, let's continue. This is my turn. Remember, please, that we are going to have the Proposal Defense Day, April 15. Remember that you have to send us 3 slides, and have a little script ready for the presentation. It's a must to attend. You have all the contributors with a proposal. You have to attend all. If not, of course, if live shows you that you cannot attend because any internal question, of course you cannot. But if you are available, you have to attend. And if not, prepare your own video with your face and share slides and send it to our Gmail before April 13, because we need time to check it and so on. So when you have your slides ready, send it to our email. I think at this moment we have something like 4 slides ready, 4 presentations. And then we will send you, after we get these slides, we will send you the meet for the presentation, because this will be live streamed. And we don't know the order, so you have to stay all the presentation. I think it's not going to be as large as today's presentation. So remember, project presentation day, very important, because it's the day that you present to the general public your own thing. We are not gonna examine you in the sense of reviewing your project, but it's most that you are gonna present publicly your slide. Think about that. Not all the mentors can take a look of all the projects from the different contributors, but all the mentors at some moment can opinate and even vote for your proposal. So and they can get interest in the day you make the presentation. So this is the reason we are doing this thing of the project presentation day this year, and it's good for you all that you want to get a GSOC to be there. So please follow the rules. These also are on the website and on the Discord. Prepare your slides and an email, and you will get the meet presentation. What else? Yes, I announced it weeks ago, but this is finally announced. We are gonna have a second edition of the contest Kiss Up. This time focused on Flutter artificial intelligence, and we'll be having the grand finale just before the opening of the GSOC. The final day, Google will be announcing their people that is gonna get the GSOC this year. So it's gonna be the grand finale on April 23. And the rules are these are on the website. This is, I would say, this contest is to motivate to research and create things. And of course, we will win awareness, because this is going to be a contest, and we will give some prizes. This time, we also need even more keys than last year. Remember that we say keys, it was this technology thing called keep it simple, stupid. I mean, doing really simple things. And we want this time an application that queries a Google LLM, Llama or Gemini, whatever place in whatever place in the internet, not in the artificial intelligence local service. It has to be an API, whatever, Grok or whatever place, and paints back some of the answers on the Liquid Galaxy rig. That's simple. I mean, very simple thing. The most simple thing you can do with artificial intelligence and the Liquid Galaxy. Most of your projects that artificial intelligence projects are going to be based in that way of doing. This is what we request, but you can do as much as you want improve if you want improving this really simple thing, but we are asking just for really simple things. Dates, last day to send us the materials is April 18. No excuses there because we have to have it ready, reviewed by the Google developer experts for the day of the presentation. Then it's going to be on April 23. So we need the applications for April 18. And you have still something like 4 weeks. That's enough, I think. And now the rules are similar to the last Kiss contest, so all information is on the Liquid Galaxy AU domain. Prices, we are gonna give $100 in cash through PayPal to the person that wins the first prize, and we are gonna give you some mobile accessories by Xstorm. It is a firm that works with us for many years ago, valued on around $50. So this means that the person that wins the first will get something like $150 in cash and in prices. The second will get the mobile accessory, and the second and third will get a big swag pack that, like the ones that some of the winners in the last time show in the social networks and so on, with shirts, stickers of Flutter, Flutter Jada, Liquid Galaxy, and everything we have inside. We will put a big pack of swag, and this will be sent to the first, second, and third winner. So first has more things, second has less things, and the third gets a bag of swag. And everybody participating will get again a certificate of participation, certificate of winner, or certificate of participation. And of course, this will give you the final selection for GSOC, more awareness for this, because this will be on the April 23, and it will be May 1 when Google will be selecting the final contributors. So this might help. This is not a must. You can run for the contest or not, but this always helps us and Google to select the persons that are going to be on GSOC this year. What else? Any question on this, guys? I know we are late. We are something like 2 hours. That's too much today. It's been a crazy streaming. Is there any question for this contest or for the project presentation day? No, you're tired. You don't have any questions. You are reading a book like Saumya. Is something like reading. I don't know what she's reading. Okay. Again, remember dates. We are in the last steps to start the real thing GSOC till April 2. You can upload your proposals to the Google site. Remember, Google do not allow any kind of delay. If you don't do this till 2, you will not be on the project. You cannot be selected. In the meantime, as I said since in the very beginning, we are doing the interviews with the mentors, and mentors interviews will be happening continuously till the selection day. Okay, Mahinur, let me end the slide. From April 2 to 23, we'll be reviewing your different proposals, continue reviewing, making interviews. Remember, we have a very large sheet of different questions when we interview you, with the activities you have done in the past, if you have done presentations, if you have done collaboration on Discord. We mark you, we give you some points and some crosses when you have been nice with the community, and of course then the evaluation of the mentors, not only the mentors that interview you but also the other mentors review your proposals, and then we make some kind of internal vote and we select what contributors are maybe the ones, and then it's Google the one that finally selects people, because we are not going to pay you, it's Google who pays you. So it's only Google is the only one that can announce who are going to be the GSOC 2024 in our community. This will be on May 1st to May 26th, community vending period, May 26th till May 27, and we start the coding till the end of August. Mahinur?
Yes, I wanted to ask if I didn't have an interview before April 2, does that mean that I wouldn't get one, or I can get one after April 2?
It doesn't mean nothing. So I said it repeatedly. I don't have any problem in repeating it again. So interviews are one of the many tools we have to review you. So think about that. We have some contributors that present us an amazing proposal, and just exchanging with them a few emails, we know that how this is going to work. So we know people from past years. We know how your proposal is developed. We make interviews or not. We have the Discord and the other streaming columns in our sheet. So you can have an interview from now till April 29. I mean, it might happen at any moment, now or in the next weeks, or it might not happen, or it might happen several times. Why is this the way? Because, it's complex for us to select the contributors. There are plenty of contributors. I can tell you exactly the number of persons that are going into the GSOC. This is at this moment, this is private information, but the question is that you can get an interview till May 29. April, sorry. It's the last day before the Google thing, because we suddenly imagine we suddenly a mentor suddenly sees something in your proposal and wants to ask you a question. Not your mentor, because no one has a mentor assigned. The mentor, the final mentor is assigned only to the people that is selected. This is not going to happen till May 2. Okay. So the preliminary mentors may jump in, and you're going to have interviews with one mentor, but maybe suddenly you will receive another email, always CCing us for you to check that this is for real. You're going to have another interview with another mentor, because we want to cross-check your knowledge and your thing. So it might happen at any moment. It might not happen. It might happen several times. That's the way it works. And I don't know if I have answered your question right.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Mahinur. Pablo says no questions. Saumia says no questions. Saumia, did you have any question? No? Prithvi, Rohit,
No, sir.
Manas, Amit, the ones that are on the meet. Thank you for coming. So again, we have plenty of presentations we are doing. The next ones are from Prague this afternoon at 5 p.m. Central European Time, 5 p.m. today, from Mentor Prague. And then I have a good news for you. We are going to leave you just doing the interviews, and we are going to stay 1 week without doing anything in the middle. Maybe you get the interviews, but we have bank holidays here. It's happening things in India and in other places. So you still can work on your proposals, presenting your whatever, your task. There is still people presenting tasks and so on. And after we come back from holidays, we will have the session from Ryan King talking about using AI voices for the Liquid Galaxy apps, and some other that are still prepared from Shaunak and Rohit. That will be after the beginning of April. Remember to RSVP at Google Developer 7 platform. This is the way we do the things, and I think we are finishing. Let me check. Okay, what's going on? Yes, upcoming sessions. Shaunak, Rohit, Prayak. And this is the way. Work hard, have a bit of luck, and we cannot tell you anything. We have said this to all of you since the very beginning. The only way is doing stuff and having a bit of luck, because we don't know which ones are going to get the GSOC. We don't know how many interns we are going to have this year, and this is the thing that moves which persons we can select. So please stay working and have a little bit of luck. Any other questions? Bye, Kunta. Thanks for this amazing session. I wish I could have also joined the community meet. I thought it will be a regular meet like previous ones. Okay, no, man. We send you all information about the things. I sent personally the email to all the community, something like 370 people. The ones I have the email from this year GSOC, 370, I repeat it. So all of you have received my email. Most of you are on Discord. So I inform you, so it's up to you if you don't get the point. But as Rohit Manas, Prithvi, Mahinur, Saumya, and Amit are here, you can be all here. And I appreciate you are here and stay with us. And if there is not any other questions, I will wait for a few seconds and we will have this session close. Any question, guys, girls and boys? No? So again, you're gonna be free from that kind of presentations for a week. And thank you, Pablo. And we will come back in a week, but in the middle you will get, some of you will be getting interviews if when the mentors have time for thank you, Ryan, time for the interviews, and also continue to improve your proposals and so on. Thank you very much. Ciao. Bye bye. See you. Bye. 6 a.m. here. I know, Ryan, this is early for you. Take care. Bye bye. Okay. Hasta la vista.